I have a series of episodes where they're sort of like outside the realm of the show a little bit, like the limo, like the subway, and like the airport. Because Larry and Jerry's domain was so powerful, you know, the apartment and those stories were so powerful that I was always trying to find a way to sort of put my stamp on the episode in some way. And the airport was one of those episodes where I thought, let's see if we can play with the form a little bit. And it turned out to be fine. You know, you could actually get an airplane set. Like, who knew these things? You could get a subway car, you can get an airplane set. We didn't know that at the time, you know. There's a guy who lives in the valley who's got an airplane set. That's what he does. When you want an airplane, you call this guy and he brings you an airplane set.
Excuse me, I think you're in my seat.
Oh, really? My mistake. My mistake. The airport episode, I think, was when we were starting to realize that comedically it was okay for me to be a character for whom things worked out, which kind of goes against standard comedic law. I mean, if you watch Laurel and Hardy or Charlie Chaplin or the Marx Brothers, things aren't supposed to really work out. They're supposed to completely implode. And we started to, that episode, I remember that it was obvious to us that we were going to do it that way from the beginning. And I think that's when we were starting to figure out my character would be a guy for whom things worked out.
The thing about the airport show is that I can't get on a plane now without a flight attendant telling me how funny they thought that was. Of course, the difference between first class and and coach.
Excuse me, I've got to go to the bathroom. I've got to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. What was that? Did you not see
Hey! Now that is refreshing.
Would you care for some slippers?
Sounds lovely. Thank you very much.
But it was such fun to play that bit with the stinky bathroom. And everybody can relate to that. To play the guy that comes out of the bathroom, that stinks it up in the bathroom that I react to, is Larry Charles.
I got recognized kind of infamously for many years after that. That was a cameo that was very vivid to people for some reason. Because I was also the guy in the parking garage who wouldn't help them when the fish was dying. But people didn't, you know, that was kind of, but for some reason, this moment, I guess people, again, you can't predict what people are going to respond to. And I think everybody's had that moment.
We went to the lower lot down here, just literally parallel to where Gilligan's Lagoon was for Gilligan's Island. And we had Kramer running alongside a truck and had a piece of the side of the fuselage with a window and with a camera behind it, and it was just held in with grips. And we just ran the truck right alongside Kramer.
And I was just running along, and I mimed that I was under the wing or coming out from under the wing. We shot that late at night. It's a quick shot. We had to pick it up fast and get going.
You guys ready?
Yeah, back to authenticity and how I like to make things look real. I did that on one take, and I hadn't practiced. I just got up there and let myself come through. And I got a bit of a burn on my bottom.
None of us, other than Jerry, of course, wrote the show. I mean, so we can't, none of us can take credit for that, but maybe we enhanced a little bit of business. We're always looking for business. What's my business? What's my business?
During the course of a work week, you know, everybody was free to add in or change or alter, you know, with discretion. But we certainly had loose reins about playing around with dialogue and business and whatnot.
So in the pick episode, I send out a Christmas card and my nipple is exposed. which was based on something that happened to one of the writers where somebody sent out a card and a man's genitals were exposed. By accident, they had no idea.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Looks good. Kramer did a good job.
Yeah, well, I mean, how hard is it to take a picture?
Did you look at this picture carefully?
Carefully.
Because I'm not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I see a nipple.
George doesn't get the card. I hadn't sent him one.
Hey, how come I didn't get a Christmas card? Everybody else got one. Jerry got one. Kramer got one. I thought we were good friends. I don't get a Christmas card. I don't get it.
You want a Christmas card? You want a Christmas card? All right, here. Here's your Christmas card.
And I grabbed his head and I rubbed his head in between my boobs and threw him back. And that was something that we came up with in rehearsal.
Let me go get Newman. We'll see if he sees it.
No, I don't want him looking.
Oh, what's the difference? Everybody else you know has it.
In some ways, Newman was a character. In some ways, Newman was a device. When you needed something delivered, you know, call the mailman. I was good for a quick hit. My job on the show was being a really good designated hitter. And as time went on, that served the purposes of the show in different ways. And so, you know, I would get the call. And the good part about that is that people respect your bat. The bad part is that you don't get to play the field and you're not in every game.
Okay, what is it?
Here. Take a look at this card. Tell me if you notice anything unusual about it.
Yeah, your nipple's showing.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else?
No.
All right, see you later. The only thing that, you know, bothered me was that in seeing Elaine's nipple on the Christmas card, he seemed so cavalier about it, and that really seemed wrong. I think he would have just taken the card and left.
I know when we did the episode The Pick, I was uncomfortable being in my underwear in front of the audience. We did the first take, it went well, but the writers, they wanted to come up with some better lines. So I was standing there on the set in front of the audience, and I had makeup all over my body. That was a real treat.
When Kramer is modeling for Calvin Klein and he falls against the wall and the body makeup smears along the whole wall of the set, that's one of my favorite little things in that one.
So I had to get all the makeup on my body, and I'm in my underwear, and I'm thinking, yes, this is television comedy at its best. I'm in my underwear with makeup on my body.
Hey, is that Babu? It is. Hey, Babu!
Kenny!
Look at you, you got the job.
Yes, they give me job thanks to you.
Oh, I didn't do anything.
No, you do everything. You get me job, you get me place to live in your building.
Come on.
You're very, very good man. You do everything for me. My family and I can never thank you enough for everything you do.
It was such a thrill to be brought back on the show. You know, first of all, it was you know, like a great compliment. They loved the character, so that was great. And I got the script for the visa, and I was reading it at home, and I'm going, my wife is watching TV, I'm reading the script, I'm going, oh my God, I'm working in the cafe. I think I might be a recurring character. I'm reading on, oh my God, I'm living in his building. This is incredible. Oh, geez, this is gonna be amazing. Flip the page.
They took Babu away.
They took Babu away?
Yeah, the immigration guy said his visa was expired. Poor Babu, everything was going so well for him. He had an apartment, he had a job. What a shame.
Get to the end of the episode, deported to Islamabad. I'm going, oh, what the hell is this? You've never seen an actor go so fast in your life. I just. But it was a great episode.
I mean, how could you two keep this a secret from me?
It's not true.
Enough lying. The line is through. Now, come on, Jerry, the masquerade is over. You're thin, late 30s, single.
So are you.
Yeah.
For some reason, many people thought Jerry was gay. I mean, there was always this rumor. As the show got more and more popular, that rumor got more and more prevalent. And people would come up to me and go, "Is Jerry gay? Is Jerry gay?" And I go, "Look, he's always with women, and I have never seen any evidence of him being gay. What can I say?" People just, it's one of those kind of rumors that sort of took on a life of its own. And of course, that seemed like a natural, again, the dark side of human nature, that seemed like a natural area to explore.
And we had a very unhappy, difficult table reading. It just didn't feel good, didn't feel funny. And Jerry and Larry said, let's shut it down and work on this.
Because we had to do something about the fact that we were saying it's awful to be gay, which we knew we couldn't say.
That afternoon, I came calling on Jerry and Larry in their office and said to them, my proposal is that we just not do this episode at all.
So we were discussing the problem in the office with Larry Charles, who was the writer of the episode, and he said something, and he said, not that there's anything wrong with it. He says, these guys, there's nothing, they could be gay, there's not that there's anything wrong with it. And I said, that's the line. That's the line. And I remember the exact moment. I remember where he was standing, right by the door. I said, that line has to run through the whole show, and then we can get away with it.
And I showed up at the new table reading, and they had taken my politically correct concerns and stood them on their head. And every time George and Jerry are accused of being gay, they say,
we're not gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have many gay friends.
My father's gay.
Look,
There were so many catchphrases that came out of the episodes that people will hurl at me walking down the street. Can't stand you, yada yada, master of the domain. But the number one, without question, is not that there's anything wrong with it. And it caught on like wildfire. I mean, literally the next day I heard people saying it everywhere.
The interesting thing to me about that line was it actually accomplished two things. Was it addressed the problem and also satirized it at the same time. That was one of our best things, of like covering, really getting away with something by giving people what they want and thereby showing them, you really want this?
I give absolute credit to how that caught on to Jerry, because he literally came in with the script and said, this is one of those where I got to show you how we're doing this, because he and Larry had figured it out in the room. It had a very definite rhythm and it had a gesture to it. And he said it's got to be not that there's anything wrong with it. And it had cross hands and they come out to the sign.
No, everyone's gonna think we're gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Literally the next day, it was everybody was saying it. The gay community went crazy for the show. They weren't offended at all. In fact, it wound up winning a GLAAD award, which is a Gay and Lesbian Alliance award. And it was another one of those, can't talk about this. Oh yes, we can. And watch this.
Every day it's something else with you. I don't know anything about you anymore. Who are you? What kind of life are you leading? Who knows what you're doing? Maybe you're making porno films.
Yeah. I'm buck naked.
You're who? Buck naked?
In the audience show that night, when we shot the scene, Estelle Harris couldn't be there, and Fran Drescher sat in for her in front of the audience.
I open up the paper, and this is what I have to read about. I fell right off the toilet. My back went out again. I couldn't move. The super had to come and help me up. I was half naked.
It's not true.
Every day it's something else with you. I don't know anything about you anymore. Who are you? What kind of a life are you leading? Who the hell knows what you're doing? Maybe you're making porno films.
Yeah. I'm buck naked.
You're who? Buck naked?